Hey, what's going on? It's your master magician, Bruce Jordan, and you're here with another episode of Hotel Revenue Magic, where our main goal of this show is to double your hotel's revenue or get you close as possible. Today, we're going to be talking about joint venture marketing. Now, a lot of people underestimate joint venture marketing, especially in the hotel industry. It's one of the easiest, cleanest, amazing ways to go ahead and get your revenue numbers and get the connections and everything else that you need to get your business going. You'll be surprised, like we spend all of this money on, Facebook ads and Facebook marketing and Google and YouTube and everything else. But all we have to do is simply make a quick phone call and say, hey, I want to help you out. I'm going to need your help. Let's get together and let's do this. So here are a couple of businesses that work very well with joint venture marketing. Some of the people that you should be reaching out to go ahead, close the deal, and make this thing happen. Number one is going to be car rental companies, especially if they're at the airport. What I usually do is I will try to find the general manager of that location and do like a gift card or something like that. So it'll be something that they can give their customer to actually stay with us. So if I give them a $10 gift card or a $25 gift card, it depends on what your rates are. I usually try to supplement or get close to whatever my commissions are for my OTAs. That's my main formula. I cut that in half or cut it by 2/3, and that's what I have to give away. So if my commissions are 15%, I got 2.5% to give away, or maybe 10% to give away, or whatever my rate is, my average rate is. Now, the way we find these general managers for the car rental places is you go to an area, let's say by the airport, or you go to an area that's maybe 3 to 4 hours out of where you're at, and say, hey, you got someone that's coming down here, give them this gift card. We'll go ahead and make sure you're taken care of, and we'll do a little cross promoting as well. So I'll put them on my Facebook page. I'll put them on my website. I have a website where I have restaurants and contacts and everything else that people could click on, and I text them that website so they go to that landing page to see restaurants, car rentals, attractions, so on and so forth. And that's the way we're working together back and forth. So I'm doing something for them, they're doing something for me, and it's a two-way street. Now, my next favorite place is moving companies and storage units. Now, everybody know that if someone is moving, especially to your area, that they're going to need some place to store their stuff, or they're going to need some place to stay. So by doing a joint venture with a moving company or a storage unit, you already know who doesn't have a place to stay. This is very beneficial, especially when you have an extended stay hotel that has a decent rate, where you can go ahead and probably give them a commission, maybe a 10% commission just for the referral. Now, you get to talk to the general manager of the property, or you could build a relationship and rapport with the people at the front desk of that U-Haul storage or other storage or cube storage. There's so many of them out here nowadays, I don't know which one's which. You build that relationship with them, you have everything that you need to get started of getting more referrals to your hotel. Funeral homes. Listen, this is the only thing that is still is pandemic free. Everybody wants to go see their loved one if something happens to them or something of that nature. You just have to be very careful, because it's a delicate situation when it comes to the family. Now, when you go to the funeral home, you build a relationship, pay them a commission anywhere from 10 to 15% for the referral. You have some funeral homes that are already working with the hotels. So if that is the case, what I usually do my marketing on top of the local funeral homes in my area. So I will do like a Google search text ad where when I pull up that funeral home, my hotel comes up. And if you get the business that way, let's say if it's 20, 30, 40, 50 rooms, I'm not sure how many people will be coming, but if they're coming out of time, they're giving you all these rooms. What I usually do, especially if the funeral home isn't involved, I send flowers. I send flowers to the person's funeral that happened. Let them know, hey, it's from such and such hotel team. We're sorry for your loss. The second thing I do is the commission that I was going to give the funeral home, had I had a contract and relationship with them, I gave it to them. Hey, I'll take 5-10%. Say, we're sorry for your loss. Thank you for staying with us. We're gonna go ahead and pay for a portion of the funeral. And then I cut that check to the funeral home, and that's how I built that relationship with the funeral home. The other side of the coin is, if you pay the funeral home 10%, if you have a little bit more margin, depending on your price that you're charging for the room, if you have a little bit more margin, why not pay 5% to the person that family has passed away to the funeral home as well? So you can weigh out your percentages, but this works great for me. Definitely, especially during the pandemic, build those relationships with the local funeral homes in your areas that's within 5 miles to 10 miles out. Wedding planning, wedding planners. You gotta have it. Weddings are still going on. They're still happening. I feel like people are still coming out for weddings. So of course, I got to double my efforts to build my relationships with my wedding planners and event planners. Now, event planners, I'm really not seeing a whole lot of traction come from them because of everything that's going on with this pandemic. But I still want to make sure my relationship is strong. So if they do get something, we're able to go ahead and accommodate them to go ahead and refer business to us. So that's another one. If you have to pay extra commission, do it. Get the contract, get it signed, get it done. Now, the way weddings usually works is, depending on how many rooms they actually book, the bride and groom gets a free room because they got to prepare and all of the stuff. And then after the wedding, they come back to the room, upgrade, executive suite, whatever the case may be. So, but if they don't meet their numbers, then of course they don't get anything. And you got your whole group list that you got to go ahead and do your group block. And yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I don't got to explain this to you, but definitely build that relationship. Next one is banquet halls. Now, I don't know what kind of functions banquet halls are doing ever since everything's going on with this pandemic, but this is a good time to rebuild and reconnect. Since we've been out of the loop so long, we can rebuild and reconnect right now. Things been a little bit crazy ever since March. So now, while everybody else is still on the fence, kicking their feet up, waiting for business to come in, we can go ahead and rebuild our network and go out there. And as soon as the light switch turns back on, we're the first in line. Now, the next one is Facebook, and particularly truck driver groups. And the reason why I say truck driver groups, because truckers are still on the road. Only thing with truck drivers and truckers is that you have to make sure the amount of parking space you have can accommodate their truck. They don't want to park their truck someplace else and then come to the hotel. Now, as you already know, I always save the best for last. But back to truck drivers. Now, the way I usually get these truck drivers, because they're always driving all over the place, is that I usually join the truckers' Facebook groups and let them know, hey, this is our rate, this is where we're at. If you're coming to the area, we have free breakfast, yada, yada, yada. They do not like paying for breakfast unless it's like restaurant style or something like that. They always want free breakfast included. So make sure you make your posts and put them in those Facebook groups, letting the truck drivers know that you're available. You want to take pictures of your parking area so they know they have places to park their truck, and they can see how they're going to get their truck in there. So definitely use that one. Now, here we go. Construction companies. Construction companies, you can target directly, but the thing about construction companies is that they usually hire subcontractors. So even if you do target the construction company directly, it's the subcontractors that has the real crew that can get you the real rooms and get you the real numbers. So yeah, if you do the construction company directly, you may get a couple, but you're going to get the real meat and the potatoes and the subcontractors. How the hell do you find subcontractors? By building relationships with the construction supply companies, major construction supply companies. Same thing, gift cards, so on and so forth. You turn them over any construction contact that you have. You introduce them to your construction contracts you have right now that you have contracts with, and then they'll go ahead and bring you on. So you're referring them, they're referring you, you're golden. Now, if that doesn't work, it may be a good idea to give an incentive to the construction supply company for every referral that they bring over. So, the usual 5-10%, and you're good to go. Now, it's not just referrals that we can benefit when it comes to this. It's not just these particular companies. We can actually do a joint venture with anyone, and it doesn't always have to be a monetary thing. If I do a joint venture with the company, I can do a cross promotion with it. All I need is their email. We do an agreement where we'll do an email blast to each other's customers. Because you're a hotel guest at such and such and such and such, you get 10% off at this place, and they're going to do the same. That broadens your reach. Reach is everything. I mean, if they close, they close, but if they don't see you, how can they choose? That's why reach is everything when it comes to marketing. You have to be seen. So if you get 5 or 10 of those a month, it doesn't cost you anything. It's a swap. You're doing the email, they're doing the email. Let's say you got 8,000 reservation. That's 8,000 email addresses that you have. So you have an 8,000 email list. Even if they get 10 customers from 8,000, it costs them nothing. Even if you get 10 customers from 8,000 emails, it costs you nothing. It's an email. So definitely put that into your intro. Now, the next one I do is social media post swaps. I usually do this with the local bars inside the area because, a guest has a little too much to drink. They don't want to drive. They get a hotel room. So if we swap posts, hey, come, if you're a hotel guest, you go to such and such bar, you get discount. Or if they take my post, hey, you're a bar customer, don't drink and drive, come on and check into a hotel room. Nothing is worth losing your license and your freedom. It's a done deal. It's not costing us anything, but we're just posting to, he's taking my post, they're taking my post and posting to their page. I'm taking their post, posting my page. No money's exchanged. Next thing is gift card swaps. I have same thing, $10 gift cards. I give out to local businesses. They give me their gift cards. I take their gift cards and I package it in an envelope for my guests. A thank you card. I put a thank you card, throw it in an envelope, leave it on the desk. Thank you for staying up with us. Please enjoy your gift. Their gift cards is in there, including my gift card is in there. So they have a bunch of different options where they can choose to use their gift cards. It works out very well for you. The guests feel extra special that they checked in to this room, they paid X amount of dollars, and they have like $50, $60, $70 worth of gift cards. And those gift cards are really used as leads or as incentives for that particular guest to go visit that restaurant or go visit that spa or go visit that massage parlor, whatever the case may be, or go visit your restaurant that's inside your hotel. That works out pretty well. You got to try that one. Now, right now, as you already know, the corporate market is done for right now. It's building back up slowly, but they're still doing these meetings and meetings here and there. They're giving out the option to do virtual meetings and have the key people be in the regular meeting. A lot of hotels are doing a lot of different things. It's really not about the meeting itself. It's about who's there. Okay. Some people, no matter if the specific person is going to show up, they are going to that meeting. Listen, and so most importantly, I feel like this is my number one is I think the shift for sales shouldn't be for corporate right now. I think it should be for influencers. Influencers have more influence over their fan base to get them to come out versus, a regular corporate function. I gotta go to this for work. Nah, forget it. But hey, Sade's in town. I'm going because this ain't gonna be no ordinary love. All right. So it's not. If you work your magic, do your calls with influencers, I think your close percentage will be higher versus with corporate. Now, usually when I'm dealing with influence, either I want to give them a set rate and have them incorporated to their package, or I want to cut them a check for a percentage of the sales. The set rate works out a lot better because they could take your room at a certain rate and then charge whatever they want to charge in their package. And it's usually a difference of like $20, $30 with hotel or without hotel. So if it's a couple, they save $30. If it's two people, or if it's a company, like if it's like a Grant Cardone or someone of that nature, they save a couple of dollars. Shaka Dyson, they save a couple of dollars. Get your salespeople off the phone with corporate and have them find these influencers. Now, when you're trying to find the right influencers, what usually works best is you have to be a little unorthodox, especially with their packages. If they ask them, hey, can you change your times a little bit? Instead of doing a 9 to 5, can you do a 1 to 8? This way, and try to find someone that's not local. Try to find someone that's 2 to 3 hours out, because people are still a little, they're still a little iffy about flying. So, but they will drive a couple hours to get there. So if the event starts at 1 o'clock, they can leave their house at 10 o'clock, get there by 1 o'clock, but they don't want to drive back at night. So what they'll do is they'll spend a night in a hotel and leave in the morning. And that usually works best. And thank you for joining us for another video on Hotel Guest Magic, and we'll talk to you soon.